In this lesson, we're going to look at visual models of adding and subtracting decimals and translate them into how we do it without our visual models. So here you can see two different decimals. You've got the decimal 37 hundredths, and the decimal 6/10ths. And you can see the pictures of them here and here. And when you put them together, it makes sense to put all the full rows in first and then put in all the little pieces. Or in other words, start with the tenths, put all those tenths together, and then move on, put the hundredths in, and you can see that there's 9 full rows. So that's 9 tenths, and there are 7 hundredths. So together, this makes 97 hundredths. Here you see 5 tenths, or 50 hundredths. Take away 5 hundredths. So I like how this is written as 50 hundredths instead of just 5 tenths. Yet we still have 5 rows filled out. But if you counted up all those little tiny ones, it would actually be 50 yellow pieces, or 50 hundredths. It's half of the square. And then so you see that we took this one away. So we covered it up, and so we could just kind of scribble out 5 hundredths, and we're left with 4 full rows, would be 4 in the tenths place, and 5 left in the hundredths place. So 5 little tiny boxes. So this stands for our rows, and this stands for each box. In your Cornell notes, you have some pictures just like mine. I'd like you to pause the video and take some time to draw out 46 hundredths plus 15 hundredths, and then also draw out 82 hundredths, take away 9 hundredths, and then show what those answers would be. Alright, so you probably already decided there are shortcuts to doing this. Now I know that you probably have seen these shortcuts before since you've already learned how to add and subtract decimals, but the point of looking at those pictures was so that you understood those shortcuts. So the shortcut is understanding place value. Place value in decimals is so important. Each place means something different. Think about money. If I said $5.23, the 2 is much more important than the 3, right? So if I said, I'm going to change this to $5.32, you'd say, no, I don't want you to do that. Even though you're only changing it by one number, you're making it go up 9 cents. So you wouldn't want to do that. Each one stands for a different amount. So the tenths place is the largest amount. So if you're lining up decimals, you'd always look at the tenths place first because it's the largest place value. Then hundredths, then thousands. After that, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, and you can actually keep going, but typically nobody measures out beyond the millionth place. Notice they all end with ths because they're after the decimal point. On the other side, it would be tens, hundreds, thousands, so that's how they're different. On the left-hand side, these are whole numbers. On the right-hand side, they each stand for a decimal. So this first position is the tenths place. It represents out of 10. So this is really like 5 out of 10 rows are filled out. 9 out of 100 pieces are filled in. So if I looked at both of these, I'd say 59 hundredths, or 59 out of your square, would be filled in. Thousands we're going to get into a little bit more tomorrow in class, but thousands would be when you take and separated that box into 1,000 pieces. So the shortcuts is to take our problems and line them up with place value. So I'm going to take and think about this as 75 hundredths added to 2 hundredths. Now when I'm doing this, I lined up my decimal points, and then in turn I lined up my place values. So this row here is talking about the little boxes. So I'm going to add those together, and I have 7 little tiny squares filled out. Then when I add these two, it's like I have 7 rows filled in, and this is where my decimal point goes. Straight down. Let's do this one. Another addition problem. 37 hundredths plus 3 hundredths. Again, it's like I have 7 and 3 together, little tiny boxes. That would make 10, which actually makes a full row. Then I have 1 full row that they's made, plus 3 more rows, which is 4 full rows. So really this adds up to 4/10. We could ignore that position there because this is not needed after the decimal point. Alright, so now we have subtraction, 15 hundredths. I'm going to subtract 7 hundredths. And when I do this, I need to borrow, so I take away 1 from here and borrow it, and I have 15. That gives me 8. 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 hundredths. And the last one, 75 hundredths. Take away 4/10. Not 4 hundredths. Now, whenever I have a gap, I like to fill it in with a 0. 5 minus 0 is 5, and 7 minus 4 is 3. So this is 35 hundredths. I would like for you to try these, so go ahead and pause the video. Alright, so if you did this, 99 hundredths, take away 88 hundredths, you should have gotten 11 hundredths. This one, 57 hundredths, add 3 hundredths, and you get 6/10 or 60 hundredths. 5/10 plus 49 hundredths, again, add that 0 so it's easy to add. You get 99 hundredths. Almost 1, right? Think about that fraction, 99 100ths. And lastly, 41 hundredths, take away 22 hundredths. I need to borrow, and that's 19 hundredths. You do not have a NICU check tonight. Hopefully you are done filling out your Cornell notes, and have a good night.